Braden, how's off-season, preseason been going for West? Y'all were right there.
You're watching 5 Star Live, presented by East Tennessee Spine and Sport. Tennessee's #1 high school football show. Live on location from the biggest game of the week. Live interviews from coaches and players, along with highlights, predictions, and up-to-date information about this week's biggest games. Your hosts, Jesse Smithy and Kevin Smith, with decades of experience covering and coaching high school sports, along with a 5-star preps team, will break down region outlooks and what's to come for your favorite prep football teams and top players. Now, get ready for the most comprehensive high school football coverage in Tennessee on 5 Star Live.
Are you ready for some football?
We're ready for some football, baby.
Presented by East Tennessee Spine and Sport. We're at West High School, week 2 of the 2022 high school football season. Big game tonight between the Farragut Admirals 1-0 at West Rebels, also 1-0. We're going to break down this game in just a minute. Do want to thank East Tennessee Spine and Sport for sponsoring 5 Star Live all season long. Been serving East Tennessee athletes, whether you're in high school, you're college, you're pro, whether you just like to stay active. They've been helping people in the greater Knoxville area since 1995. Even did some work on yours truly a couple years ago. Got me back on the golf course so I could play golf with no pain, which was awesome. I am rolling solo tonight. Kevin Smith not here, my usual co-host. Again, I am Jesse Smithy, owner of 5starpreps.com. And as I mentioned, we have a big game tonight between West and Farragut. Are the region implications? Absolutely not. Playoff implications? Not really. It's an early season game, but this is a huge Knox County rivalry. And if you look past over the last 3 seasons, really good games between these two. Farragut being a 6A school, West being a 5A school, both usually playoff contenders. Last year, 41-38 win by West High School at Farragut High School. Just a back and forth offensive affair all night long. We saw the emergence of junior Braden Latham in that game really start to signal to everybody in East Tennessee what he's going to be like in the West High School backfield as a running back. And of course, he went on to have a fabulous 2021 season, helped West get all the way to the 5A state semifinals. He is back again this year, along with his twin brother, Caden Latham. We had a really nice free story on our website about the Latham twins. You can check that out at 5starpreps.com and get to know a little bit about what you might see out of both players here tonight. But as we roll highlights of West High School and what they did last week against Bearden, looked okay at times, struggled throwing the football, but they did have a few big plays called back by penalty in that game against Bearden. So that's what you want to watch for tonight in West High School. How can they clean up the penalties? They had multiple big plays from Carson Jesse, their senior quarterback, called back to the line of scrimmage or maybe beyond because of penalty. Coaches always talk about the biggest improvements from their football teams coming from week 1 to week 2. How will West clean up that at the line of scrimmage? And that's a little bit concerning because they brought back 4 offensive linemen from last year. Probably shouldn't have had some of those issues. Maybe the game was called too tight. Regardless, it happened, and West had to grind out a victory over Bearden last Saturday night, play through the rain. Hopefully tonight we're not interrupted by any rain. There are some clouds in the sky, but West starts off 1-0. Farragut also started off 1-0, had a really nice win over Beach High School out of the mid-state. Beach is a 6A size school. They were a state quarterfinalist a year ago. Farragut knew all too well what they were getting into in week 1. They played Beach in the opener in 2021. Farragut won last Friday night, came up with 2 huge fourth quarter stops on defense to keep Beach out of the end zone and preserve that 31-28 win. One of the rising stars that you'll need to watch out for tonight out of Farragut is Gibbs, the running back. Ran for 180 yards, 2 touchdowns, and this may be one of the surprise players of the 2022 season. He played a year ago, but was he a star? Absolutely not. But week 1, posting 180 yards rushing, certainly you have to keep an eye out for Elijah Gibbs. Landis Davila, a wide receiver, 6'3", 185 pounds. Right now, he's a Virginia Tech baseball commit, and we'll see if he can kind of garner a few offers for himself in college football. He's been working out really hard in the offseason, trying to be that dual sport athlete. He had a big game, over 100 yards receiving in week 1 for Farragut. So those are a few players you need to watch out for tonight. We caught up with Braden Latham, the running back from West High School, and Carson Jesse, quarterback from West High School, during the preseason media day. We're going to bring that interview to you here on 5 Star Live, presented by East Tennessee Spine and Sport. Check out what those 2 guys had to say about their football team this fall.
All right, Braden, how's off-season, preseason been going for West? Y'all were right there on the cusp of doing big things last year. Just wondering what was the next step that you tried to do this off-season to make sure y'all could go a little farther this year?
It was definitely to let last season go. It was sad to lose the power like that, but it's okay. We definitely let it go, and we definitely are looking forward to next season. We're in the weight room, we're on the field, we're running, we're doing what we can.
Last year I felt like was kind of the breakout year for you, and wondering what that felt like for you mentally to have the spotlight on you, and what you've done to grow and be better.
Last year definitely was a great season for me personally, and I was told all my life to stay humbled and thank the people around me. And that's what I did. And this year I hope to do the same thing and stay great and keeping my friends and family.
Anything that you attack though, skill wise, or man, I gotta get better at this to be better at my position?
I was doing track during the off season, so I definitely got faster, and I was running routes with Jaquarius and Kaden, one of the my twin and my best friend, and I was trying to get in that weight room this off season.
To have a twin brother on the team, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing, or probably a little bit of both?
It's definitely a bad and a good thing, because when we're going one-on-ones, it's we want to compete, but then it gets to oh my gosh, I'm better than him. It's definitely very competitive.
So y'all push each other a lot then. What have you seen out of him this offseason? He was a guy that started to make some plays at receiver last year and have a big impact.
His hands have definitely got better. His route running is excellent, and his DB, he's been working on his DB a little bit, and we had a 7-on-7 yesterday, and he did fantastic. Any newcomers or guys that maybe didn't play a lot last year but are on the field now that you think might surprise some people at West this year? There's this guy named Amon, and he's come. We lost Noah Geiger last year, and this guy named Amon, and he's coming in. He's going to be playing DN for us, and we got Marshawn, and he's going to be coming in and playing corner for us. So yeah, they should definitely be stars.
All right, so this is your last fall, right? And just how have you gone about preparing for that and making sure that West can improve, you can improve?
I think I've really stuck on it's part of my last year plan, and so I think I'm just trying to be the best I can be, and I think I'm building a lot of confidence in myself, and I think if I build confidence and it follows through the team, it just leads to better things.
Yeah, what do you feel like mentally going into the season as opposed to last?
I think confidence is a big thing for us, and a big thing for me too. We return a lot of people, and so I think experience is there, and the nervousness is all gone, and we're just there to play football.
When you look back to your year last year, there were a lot of positives, and I'm sure there were some negatives that you tried to address in the offseason. What were a few things that when you or the staff look back at 2021 that they wanted to see you get better at?
I think just really getting healthy, and I messed up knees and stuff. Got that back with that. My knee's fine, and just mobility and strength and footwork was a big thing for me this offseason.
What receivers have you felt like this offseason you've got a connection with?
We have Aquarius, Six, Marshawn from TK, Caden Latham, RJ, David. We have all those guys are just coming back, so it just builds more and more chemistry.
In terms of up front, where are you guys offensive line-wise? Did y'all have a lot of guys back? Or?
Yeah, we returned 4 or 5, and so there's a lot of trust up there with me and Braden running the ball, and it should be fun.
North Knox Siding and Windows is a complete exterior home improvement company that can help you with all your exterior needs. Visit us today at 5618 North Broadway.
When you shop at Elliott's, your journey is our purpose.
Leonardo da Vinci famously said, "Once you have tasted flight, you will forever walk the earth with your eyes turned skyward. For there you have been, and there you will always long to return." Well, the Smoky Mountain Air Show has returned, and it's time the Blue Angels take flight once again. The Smoky Mountain Air Show, Saturday, September 10th and Sunday, September 11th. Admission is free, and parking passes can be purchased at SmokyMountainAirShow.com.
If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what, add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what, add it up, told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up.
Welcome back to 5 Star Live, presented by East Tennessee Spine and Sport. I'm Jesse Smithy. Thanks for sticking with us through that commercial break. We're live here at West High School as the Rebels get ready to take on Farragut. Farragut 1-0, West 1-0. Last year, 3-point game. Should be a fantastic atmosphere here tonight. Of course, we put West and Farragut against each other in the student section of the week here, and West High School won that. Farragut made a little late rally here today. They ended up closing at noon on our website, but congratulations to West High School for being our Buddies Barbecue student section of the week. We'll try to get some pictures, some video of West High School students and put that up on our social media later tonight. We had 2 games going on in the area last night. Alcoa went on the road on a Thursday night to take on Gatlinburg-Pittman. Inter-region play. Gatlinburg-Pittman hasn't beaten Alcoa ever. They entered that game 0-13 all-time against the Tornadoes, and there late in the first half, it was a 10-7 game. Some kind of weird, mysterious penalty went on during a punt. It extended a Gatlinburg-Pittman drive there with about 30 seconds left in the half. Gatlinburg-Pittman said, hey, let's just go ahead and throw it deep. They did that to 6'3" wide receiver Carlos Orr, and it paid off. They cut the lead to 10-7. Very next play on offense for Alcoa, they gave it to Jordan Harris, and the guy busted it loose for a 63-yard touchdown. He came back in the third quarter, first offensive play for Alcoa, another Jordan Harris touchdown. He ended up having a big night, over 100 yards rushing, big plays in the passing game, and I don't know, we talked about it last week, what it's going to take for that young man to get FBS offers, FCS offers. His academics are good, his speed is good, his agility is good, his playmaking ability is good. Supposedly he has great character in the classroom and in the hallways at Alcoa, so hang in there, Jordan Harris. There's something's going to pop for you very, very soon, and great game last night. Alcoa ended up going on to win 52-17 over Gatlinburg-Pittman. Alcoa and Maryville will face off in 2 weeks in the Battle of Pistol Creek. That game will be at Maryville High School. Speaking of Maryville, they got on the field Thursday night against Powell in a rivalry Thursday showdown. Jordan Potts, the quarterback at Powell, did not play. Dressed out, kind of caused some speculation. Is he going to try to give it a go? Probably a smart decision by the Powell staff not to play him. That game had no region implications, was not going to really help them make the playoffs all too much. That was more of a pride thing and an excitement and buzz around that game because it is Maryville, it is Powell, the defending state champions in 5A. But Jordan Potts did not play. Of course, he sustained that shoulder injury in a Week 1 loss to Anderson County very early in that game. Since then, Powell has averaged, I think, 13.5 points while Jordan Potts has been on the bench, and they struggled last night to move the ball vertically with all the skill talent that they have. Meanwhile, Maryville maybe a little bit challenged in the pass game this year. Don't really have that breakout receiver that they've had in years past, but what they do have is a litany of running backs led by Noah Vaughn, the Virginia commitment. He committed to the Cavaliers over the summer. Last night, 24 carries, 196 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. He also had an 18-yard touchdown catch. I think all told 37 yards receiving. So he was definitely the player of the game last night for Maryville. They did see one of their players, Gage Ledoux, a 6'1", 200-pound running back, a junior who they were going to count on quite a bit. He had 1 carry for 2 yards in that game and did not return. So we'll see what his status is the rest of the year. This Maryville team cannot afford to start losing its big-time playmakers, especially if they're trying to get back to the 6A semifinal round to try to challenge Oakland. They need every capable back. A lot of their running backs have been producing out of the backfield in the pass game for Maryville. So we'll see if they can get Gage Ledoux back next week or maybe by the mid part of the year. We'll see if we can find out what's going on with that injury. But again, just 1 carry, 2 yards for Ledoux, and Maryville put that game away last night. 38-13 behind a big performance by the Maryville offensive line and Noah Vaughn. Let's start to take a look into week 2 for tonight. Of course, we've already broken down Farragut and West a little bit. A big game out at the Cedar Bluff area. Gibbs takes on Webb. Of course, Gibbs supposed to be playing a home game tonight. Their stadium's still not done, not even close to being done. So the Eagles having to play pretty much every game on the road or at a neutral site. Tonight they play at Webb, a team just dripping with confidence, with potential. They have their quarterback, Charlie Robinson, who's committed to Navy. You got Marquise Barrett, a 6'1", 175-pound receiver, a junior with Power 5 offers. But Shavar Young's emergence as a freshman wide receiver star for Webb has totally altered this team's course. He played some last year on offense and defense, but that was as an 8th grader. He's a 9th grader now, stronger, faster, more determined. He has Power 5 offers, including one from Tennessee. He had 3 touchdowns receiving a week ago. He had a punt return touchdown. Nobody can match his speed and agility and elusiveness. So that's one of the tasks that Gibbs will have tonight, is trying to find a way to curtail Shavar Young, to keep in check Marquise Barrett, and somehow find a way to win. Gibbs, though, really good, sneaky good offense. Nathan Butler was our 5-star preps. Smith-Built Holmes Player of the Week for week 1, 200 yards rushing, 30 carries, 4 touchdowns. But they have the players to make plays in the pass game as well. Veteran players at wide receiver, at quarterback, and on defense. So this could be a sneaky good game. It was a 17-14 win by Webb a year ago. So keep an eye on Gibbs at Webb tonight out in the Cedar Bluff area. Fulton and Central with a battle of Broadway. Central 6 turnovers a week ago and a bad loss up at Greenville. That's not the way you want to usher in a new season, especially when you got a new starting quarterback like Central does, as Bolton departs to play college baseball at Carson Newman, Brian Bolton that is. And so Central really struggled protecting the football and just gave Greenville short fields all night long. If they do that again, Fulton has the team to capitalize on that. Marcellus Jackson, maybe the most electrifying player in Knox County, is a quarterback, all-purpose athlete at Fulton High School, who threw for over 200 yards last week. He rushed for over 130 yards in that game as well. So Central has his hands full, not only with him, but Davion Chenault as well, a guy who could, at any game, run for over 100 yards. He had 117 yards receiving a week ago. So Fulton has every opportunity tonight to go to 2-0 and knock off its rival Central up there in the Battle of Broadway. Oak Ridge goes to Bearden High School. Game number 2 under Josh Jones, the head coach out at Bearden. Didn't go as planned in week 1. They had a loss to West High School on Saturday night, a rain-plagued game, a turnover-plagued game for Bearden, a lot of penalties in that game for Bearden. So we'll see what adjustments they make offensively to get the balls to their playmakers out in space, which they did not do very well in that game. I thought they played well defensively against West High School. Bearden has some really big guys up front, transfer players that have come in and really bolstered that defensive line, and makes it hard for teams to score. So we'll see what they do against a really good Oak Ridge offense that features Brandon Hayward, a junior, a Power 5 guy. They have Elijah Rogers, who also plays wide receiver. He had 3 interceptions in the first half last week for Oak Ridge. He is going to sign to play for Campbell University. And then Oak Ridge has a transfer in Almani Rembert, a real elusive kind of 6'10" kind of scat back type of a receiver who can really make guys miss and take it to the house. So Bearden's got his hands full tonight, expecting Scott Cummings, the head coach at Oak Ridge, and that team to move to 2-0. But again, Bearden really good defensively and could give them some difficulty. We're going to take a break here on 5 Star Live, presented by East Tennessee Spine and Sport. When we come back, we're going to continue breaking down games from the area. We got another interview to get to, and we got our Waffle House picks. Kevin Smith sent in his picks tonight. We're also going to read off some picks from the internet that you guys sent in from social media. So stay with us right here on 5 Star Live. We'll be back in just a minute.
East Tennessee, the foothills of the Smokies, beautiful lakes, Friday night heroes, and one red light small towns with more life than any big city, where orange and white is displayed. Yeah, the one and only home of the Tennessee Vols, but also the home of the 134th Air Refueling Wing Volunteers. You might catch us in the beautiful skies of East Tennessee, flying the time-tested, irreplaceable, world-traveling, aerial refueling KC-135. Yeah, you heard that right. We refuel other aircraft while traveling the world at over 30,000 feet and 500 miles an hour. The amazing thing is, that's really not the 134th Air Refueling Wing's greatest strength. Our greatest strength is our airmen, our warriors, who have answered our nation's call. Guardians of freedom and justice, not only in our beautiful hills, but worldwide. They are our sentries and avengers, defending our country with their lives. They are the best of us, wingmen, leaders, and warriors. And you best believe they will never falter or fail. Flying, fighting, and winning, they are American Airmen and Tennessee Air National Guardsmen. So what are you waiting for? It's time to join the hometown team. Visit GoANG.com or call 1-800-TO-GO-ANG. Leonardo da Vinci famously said, "Once you have tasted flight, you will forever walk the earth with your eyes turned skyward. For there you have been, and there you will always long to return." Well, the Smoky Mountain Air Show has returned, and it's time the Blue Angels take flight once again. The Smoky Mountain Air Show, Saturday, September 10th and Sunday, September 11th. Admission is free, and parking passes can be purchased at SmokyMountainAirShow.com.
If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up.
Welcome back to 5 Star Live, presented by East Tennessee Spine and Sport, again here at West High School for the Rebels. Big game in week 2 against Farragut High School. Both teams undefeated at 1-0. Should be one of the better games of the night here in East Tennessee. So make sure you're staying tuned with us here on 5 Star Live. Also checking our social media throughout the night on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. We're on TikTok. We've been blowing up on TikTok, man. I got a couple of TikToks, over 1 million. So thanks for everybody that's hopping on to TikTok with us as I try to figure out the newfangled social media, but we're doing all right. All right, let's keep looking ahead to week 2. Big game out in Loudoun County, Lenoir City versus Loudoun. Of course, this is their version of the Battle of the Bridge. Loudoun won it handily a year ago, and a lot of people are excited to see what possibly could happen with Lenoir City in this game. They got a new coach who's infused a lot of belief, new culture, and excitement into the program, and Gary Duggar. Unfortunately, he was ejected in the last couple of minutes of week 1. That means he has to miss his first ever Battle of the Bridge, and I talked to him last night. I know he's a little downtrodden about that. That's all he's heard about. was Loud Lenore City all summer long, all year long since he took that Lenore City job, so he's not going to be able to participate in that game. We'll see how his team responds. This is a different Loudon team. They don't have Keaton Herrig at quarterback anymore. They're more run-oriented. Last year, he kind of did everything in the run and pass game, so they're figuring things out as they go, but I thought had a really nice win over Soddy Daisy in week 1. So we'll have coverage of Loud Lenore City tonight on 5-Star Preps. We'll have stories, we'll have photos, videos, so make sure you're checking that out if you're a Loudon or Lenore City fan. Sevier County Carter. Now, this was a game that was televised a year ago that was a back-and-forth affair, an all-night affair, seemingly winning those games that would never end. Both teams have high-powered offenses. Carter, though, last week got off to a rough start against Webb. They did not have their running back, Hassan Al-Sultani, a guy that's going to play college football for somebody. He was not able to go last week because of an ankle injury. They also did not have head coach Justin Presley, who was ejected in a playoff game from 2021. That was their last game of the year. So by TSSAA rule, you have to sit out your next game if you are ejected. So he missed week 1 in that game against Webb, and I'm sure that probably unnerved the team a little bit, not having their leader there to coach them on the road at Webb. So we'll expect Carter to bounce back in this game tonight against Sevier County. Sevier County had that week 1 win over Jefferson County on Rivalry Thursday, only put up 7 points in that game. Had some problems getting the pass game going, so we'll see if Todd Loveday, the head football coach at Sevier County, can get Christian Hoffman, their 6'5" junior quarterback, get him going more confident in game 2 and get the passing game going. So we like Carter to win that football game. We're going to have our pick segment coming up, our Waffle House pick segment coming up in just a few minutes, so stay with us. Kevin Smith, my normal co-host who's not here, he sent me his picks. He even included scores, so it's going to be interesting, so stick with us for that. And final game we're going to get to in week 2, Anderson County going on the road to Science Hill. How will they follow up that big win over Powell? Will there be the natural letdown, or will that excitement and that momentum from that win over Powell propel them into a win over Science Hill, which the Hilltoppers surprised a lot of people in week 1, knocked off Elizabethton 21-7. Of course, Elizabethton been one of the state powers in Class 4A over the last handful of years, and Science Hill did a number on them defensively in week 1. So that'll be one of the games we're monitoring. We have a writer up in Upper East Tennessee who's going to that game tonight, so he's going to keep us posted on Anderson County, Science Hill, and so keep tabs on that on 5starpreps.com. All right, speaking of Anderson County, Walker Martinez is their quarterback who led them to that win over Powell. Of course, last year, right around the midpoint of the season, he ended up getting a broken bone in his throwing arm. Wasn't able to finish the year, and that really kind of sent Anderson County on a downward spiral. Weren't able to really produce the points that they needed to advance in the playoffs and really finish the year like they wanted to. We caught up with Walker Martinez in the preseason at Media Day, and he talked to us about everything he had to do to get back on the field for Anderson County in 2022.
Hey, Walker, I know we talked with you as a staff yesterday just about the jump back from the injury and everything like that, and just was that a demanding journey for you, or just take us through that and like what it took for you to get back?
You know, it was a good 5 month journey, and it's just tough and it's frustrating when you get out of. I was in a cast for a while, and you get a cast and you think, oh, I'm back to where I was, and you're not. And so you have to put in more work and work even harder than you ever did to get back. But you know, I think going through adversity like that really made me a better person, and made me a better football player, better man, and just came out better on the other end.
I mean, it was on your throwing hand, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So what did that feel like when you first gripped the football again?
So it was kind of crazy. I got out of my cast one day, and we had workouts that day, so I came to workouts, and I couldn't do anything, but I was there. And then after, I was just like, well, let's see. I wasn't supposed to throw yet. I was supposed to throw for like 2 weeks, but I was like, let's see how it feels. And like, it just felt like I couldn't even hold it. I could barely even dropping it, it seemed like. And then, you know, working days and days with Coach Gillum in the winter, and it was freezing cold. We had Bryson Val and Braden Miller all come throw with us, and it really got me back to where I was. And I feel like I'm even further than where I was like I hurt.
So when did you feel like, okay, I think I'm finally back, I can quit worrying about this now?
We had a 7-on-7 inter-squad scrimmage, and it was at the end of December, if I'm not mistaken. And I was making throws, and I was like, I'm where I was. Like, I wasn't making some of these throws before I got hurt.
Yeah.
And so
y'all won the UT 7-on-7 championship.
That was crazy.
And then did well at Chattanooga as well. How do y'all parlay that into success this fall and use that confidence?
We have our own 7-on-7 team where we play other tournaments and stuff too. And total this year, they counted out we've played 87 7-on-7 games.
Oh, wow.
And just that chemistry, and like we all know, I know Bryson and Braden and all our receivers, they're breaking at this point, and they're going to be open here, and they know what I'm thinking too, where the ball needs to be. And so just bring that into the tackle game and, being able to just put it all together. And with our offensive line has really working a lot hard this year and just really been put it all together. So.
North Knox Siding and Windows is a complete exterior home improvement company that can help you with all your exterior needs. Visit us today at 5618 North Broadway.
When you shop at Elliott's, your journey is our purpose.
Leonardo da Vinci famously said, "Once you have tasted flight, you will forever walk the earth with your eyes turned skyward. For there you have been, and there you will always long to return." Well, the Smoky Mountain Air Show has returned, and it's time the Blue Angels take flight once again. The Smoky Mountain Air Show, Saturday, September 10th and Sunday, September 11th. Admission is free, and parking passes can be purchased at SmokyMountainAirShow.com.
If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up.
Final segment here on 5 Star Live, presented by East Tennessee Spine and Sport. This is our prediction segment. We're going to get to our picks, but we also put out some stuff on social media for you guys tonight saying, hey, who's going to pop off? Who are going to be some of the players we need to keep an eye on? Going to read some off of Instagram. First one I see, Jaquarius Wren, wide receiver, defensive back from West High School, one of the top interception leaders from 2021, and starting to get some college interest, so definitely can see that. Brody Blankenship, a junior out at Carter High School, also a wide receiver. Tell these guys to keep it down. Also a wide receiver, defensive back from Carter High School. Big game for them tonight against Webb School in Knoxville. Another vote for Brody Blankenship. Jai Hundley, definitely a guy to watch for Oak Ridge, running back, kind of all-purpose back that they can use in the passing game. Real big body kid, really smart kid, great kid, amazing grades for Oak Ridge. Definitely one of their better players from the class of 2023. Damian Short was nominated. Short, a running back up at Greenville High School, had 3 touchdowns in that win over Central last week. And last vote for Six Horde. I'm the biggest Six Horde fan there is. I was told about this kid coming out of middle school who nobody could stop. His name is Six, SYXX. He, of course, wears the number 6 for West High School. I've been waiting for this kid to show out for a couple years now. He's a junior now. He's a starting wide receiver. Maybe he's a big component in this game tonight for West High School against Farragut. All right, so let's go ahead and get to some of these picks tonight. Again, I asked Kevin Smith, my co-host, and I'm going to call up his predictions here in a minute. I said, hey, you're not going to be here, but we got the Waffle House pick segment tonight. I need to get your picks, and so here we go. Game number 1 is going to be Fulton at Central. Kevin Smith likes Fulton to win 27-20. I like Fulton to win that game as well. Again, Marcellus Jackson, one of the most electrifying players in Knoxville. He's going to get his yards. Can Central get theirs? That's going to be the big question mark. Frank Johnson, the 4th, their running back, ran for about 200 yards yards a week ago, but they need other guys in the passing attack to step up and complement his game. Otherwise, it's going to be Fulton all night long. Loudon, he has 35-7. I like that pick as well, with Lenore City not having its head coach tonight and coming off of a loss in week 1 to Stone Memorial. I like Loudon's chances to move to 2-0. Carter, 28-17 win over Sevier County. Again, I'm going to agree with Kevin as well. We agreed on every pick last week except the Gibbs game. I had Gibbs winning over Halls. Of course, that's what happened, but we are agreeing across the board right now. Carter, he has 28-17 over Sevier County. I think getting that running back for Carter helps them. I think having their head coach back helps them. They're at full power now against Sevier County. That game is at Strawberry Plains. And then here's where we differ. He has West High School winning tonight 31-30, which falls in line with the close nature of these ball games over the last 3 to 4 years. I have Farragut in a little bit of an upset. West is ranked higher than Farragut in my 5-star preps top 10, but given what Farragut did a week ago, I just can't erase that from my mind. They looked good throwing the football. They looked good running the football. They held Beach to negative 2 yards passing, and that was West's bugaboo a week ago, was their passing game. So I think they have an edge a little bit in the kicking game with Farragut's kicker going to Reese Keeney. So it could go either way. Total coin flip game, but Kevin and I differ tonight. He has West winning 31-30. I have Farragut winning, I think 21-17 is the score that I picked on 5starpreps.com. All right, that wraps it up for us. They're closing out here, pregame ceremonies here in just a little bit. We'll be getting to the national anthem. So thanks everybody to tuning in for 5-Star Live. We might do a hit at halftime tonight, so come back on social media, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, whichever one you prefer, and join us for a halftime update from Farragut at West, and we'll look around to some other games around East Tennessee as well. So thanks for joining us tonight on 5-Star Live. We'll see you at halftime.
You're watching 5-Star Live, presented by East Tennessee Spine and Sport, Tennessee's #1 high school football show. Live on location from the biggest game of the week. Live interviews from coaches and players, along with highlights, predictions, and up-to-date information about this week's biggest games. Your hosts, Jesse Smithy and Kevin Smith, with decades of experience covering and coaching high school sports, along with a 5-star preps team, will break down region outlooks and what's to come for your favorite prep football teams and top players. Now, get ready for the most comprehensive high school football coverage in Tennessee on 5-Star Live.
Are you ready for some football?
We're ready for some football, baby.